Learners, if you've ever been to the hills, you must have observed an interesting phenomenon. Stand in front of a cliff and shout as loudly as you can. The same sound comes back to you after some time. This is called an echo. However, we're not able to experience an echo every single time. Let's decode the science behind this. When we stand at certain places like mountaintops and speak or shout, we find that our sound returns to us after some time. This phenomenon is called echo. The phenomenon in which the repetition of sound occurs due to its reflection is called echo. In other words, echo is just the reflection of sound. But how is echo produced? Consider that you are standing on a mountaintop and shouting. The sound waves thus produced reach back to your ears and you hear the sound. Any sound that we hear persists in our ears for about 1/10 of a second or 0.1 second. This time duration is called persistence of audibility or persistence of hearing. Any sound that reaches our ears after this duration will be heard as a separate sound. When you shout, the sound waves travel outwards in all directions. These waves travel a certain distance and hit the rigid and dense media like stones, rocks, etc., and are then reflected. If these reflected waves reach the listener after 0.1 second of its production, then the listener will perceive it as a separate sound. This is how the echo is produced. But if the sound wave returns within 0.1 seconds, then the human ear will be incapable of distinguishing echo from the original sound. Let us find the minimum distance required to produce an echo. We know that the speed of sound is 344 meters per second. That is, sound travels a distance of about 344 meters in 1 second. Hence, in 0.1 second, sound can travel a distance of about 0.1 into 344 meters, which is equal to 34.4 meters. Hence, if sound, after being produced, travels a total distance of about 34.4 meters before reaching our ears, then we can hear the echo. Echo is actually the reflection of sound from an object. Hence, we can say that the reflecting surface should be at a minimum distance of about 17.2 meters from the source of sound, so that the sound wave has traveled a total distance of 34.4 meters before it reaches the listener after 0.1 seconds. This reflected wave now produces the effect of an echo. Next, if the intensity of sound is not sufficient enough, then the sound waves would die and will not be reflected from the reflecting surface. Or if they are reflected, they die before reaching the listener. Hence, the intensity of sound should be sufficient enough so that even after reflection, the sound wave can still be heard. Therefore, the necessary condition for echo to be produced is that the minimum distance between the source of the sound and the reflecting body should be about 17 meters. Secondly, intensity of sound should be sufficient enough so that it can be heard even after reflection. But if the sound is reflected repeatedly from different surfaces, then it results in reverberation, which we will study in our next section. Let's summarize what we have learnt till now. The phenomenon of repetition of sound occurring due to its reflection from a distant surface is called echo. And the sound we hear persists in our ears for a time duration of 0.1 second. This period of time is called persistence of hearing. We also learned that to produce an echo, the minimum distance between the source of the sound and the reflecting surface should be 17 meters, and sound should have sufficient intensity to be heard. In this video, we learned about the conditions required to produce an echo. Interestingly, an echo is used effectively by some species in their day-to-day lives. But that's a lesson for another time.
Keep imbibing. We believe in you.